Welcome to the Couch Co-op Podcast. Today, let's dive into this day in gaming history and share gaming tales at the water cooler. Discover our top 3 favorite games played in 2023 and get a taste of Lordbeerstro's picks for the top 3 beers of 2023. For the ultimate co-op experience, don't miss our couch co-optionals. Challenge your gaming knowledge with a round of trivia before we bid you farewell with our goodbyes and some important info. Thanks for joining us on this gaming journey. The Couch Co-op Podcast starts now.
Now.
Couch Co-op is full of douchebags.
Who let a cat in here?
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Co-dependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show, and this is kind of the holiday show with everybody, except Aaron didn't show up, but before we kind of take a break for a while until the new year. Also, possibly, we're going to be saying goodbye to Nick for a while. So it's kind of his last show for a little while. So it's got a lot of things going on this evening. But I'm Ian. I have Jared, Dave, Nick, and John. Hopefully Aaron will join at some moment, but maybe not. If not, it's all good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Cool.
How are you, Ian?
Pretty good, actually. I hung out with Dave and Jared last night at the band. They had a show last night, and they came out, surprised me, and we had a good time.
Had a great time, yeah.
Drank some beers.
We love you, Ian.
Listened to some music. It was a lot of fun. And then today I had a pretty good day. Seemed to get a lot done today. I was very productive today, so that was good.
Not me.
Not you, Jared?
I power washed a lot of things on the screen.
Oh, you fake worked.
Yeah, I did fake work.
Hey, Jared, if you feel like it, I have a driveway that needs power washing. You're very welcome.
I have a awning that needs power washing.
Yeah, I mean, let's screw this game. We'll take the free labor.
Yeah, well, hey,
I'll even
we
videotape
can
you.
trade services.
I'll even videotape
stuff I
you
done, and I could easily do that.
I'll put the little video game on-screen display over you as you're doing it. So
yeah,
the new Couch Co-op intro.
Oh, like the
I'd have a health bar above
yeah,
me.
exactly.
Slowly deplete.
You'll put little special effects in that, like ping stars
Ping.
when an area is clear.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
I can take
We
care
could
of it.
trade services for services.
Anyway,
Wink.
cool. Well,
That's a
all
lot.
right. Let's go back to Jared. Like, what happened on this day in gaming?
So last week was a really big birthday. This week is too. Happy 30th birthday to the original Doom,
Oh,
released
wow.
in 1993, 30 years ago.
Wow.
I remember
Today.
getting that from a friend, like the shareware version. So I don't know if I've actually ever played the whole game all the way through, because
Yeah.
you got that shareware version, and then shortly after it was all like mods. You could get like a Simpsons version where someone
The
plays
WAD
one of
files.
the characters with like Simpsons, and then
yeah.
there was a Star Trek one, and
There was a Barney one.
Oh, yeah, I had the
Yeah.
Barney one.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, where was the first place or what game was the first Doom game you played and where?
I went over to a friend, friends in high school whose dad was a computer guy, and he had a PC. I think it was even before I had, like, my parents had a PC, and he had it on there, and he's like, "Oh, I'll check this out," because we'd seen Wolfenstein at school, but the school computers were like postage
Yeah.
stamp, they couldn't really run it, and I think he had like a really good 386 or maybe a 486 back when they were really expensive,
Ooh.
and it was just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was on a 386 a long time ago. One of my friends was talking about it. Like, oh man, you blow up the barrels and enemies splat everywhere. It's awesome. And that's like shortly after I learned that video games had sound effects on PC because I got a sound card finally. And I bought, just to play Doom, I bought like a 4 megabyte RAM chip for $200. And I still had to create a boot disk to play the game.
I remember that because the
Yeah,
first
making a boot disc.
640k, you had to load all your drivers into it for like
Yeah.
what you needed, and if you would make boot discs for specific games because some would need like a CD driver or a sound card driver to run properly, and
Yeah.
you would. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
And I think it was a game that was still only on one disc, right? Like just one floppy.
No, Doom was on.
I think it was 4.
I don't
Yeah, it was
remember
on
how
more
many.
than
Yeah,
one
it's been a
disc.
while.
3 or
Yeah.
4, something like that.
Because 1.44 megabytes isn't much, so yeah, it's probably a bit more than that.
My mom bought a 486 back in the day. I guess this is probably like 95. So I remember getting a shareware, like one of those CDs that just has a bunch of shareware games on it.
Yeah.
I got one in like a stocking for Christmas, and we just remember going through it, and I remember just playing the shareware version of that original Doom game. And that's pretty much only playing it until way later down the road when I bought it for like super cheap for PS3 or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what's
Then
funny is
actually playing it.
I don't ever think I've played that as a LAN game either. You know.
I played Final
multiplayer?
Doom multiplayer, but I never played the original.
Yeah, because I think by the time I
Overland.
got to like networks and stuff, it was, Quake and Unreal and that kind of.
Oh,
you know,
not
we're much-
LAN. We did Final Doom over the phone. Phone
Oh
line.
man,
Yeah.
That was
dial-up,
it
baby.
Sucked. It sucked. Holy shit! But yeah, we did that.
I played it multiplayer on a PlayStation. Now, we had to use 2 PlayStations, and we only had one disc. And at that point, you could do disc swap. After it's loaded, you could pop it in the other system, and you just had to keep doing that between loading screens. And we did that, and that was a lot of fun.
isn't it amazing what you did? Some of the
Oh,
ways
yeah.
you got around, like
Hmm.
not having the second copy or being, not having the money to do stuff, and you would find these ways to do it that were just
Oh,
so
yeah,
complicated.
All kinds of ways. Nick, when did you introduce yourself to Doom? Oh, are you muted?
I think he's muted.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry. I usually mute my mic during the intro, but yeah. So probably about 94. That's when kind of a similar story to Dave. It was a buddy of mine had introduced me to Wolfenstein, and then he's like, "Hey, this Doom game came out," and he's basically pirating games and throwing them onto this little desktop computer that I had that did not have a sound card, by the way. So that was a lot of fun.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah,
beep.
basically. But it was still a lot of fun. I played the hell out of both of that and the sequel, and then subsequent he got these level editors, which I kind of had fun with for a couple of years after that. But let's see. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Playing it on some underpowered desktop without a sound card.
Man, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sound cards. Yeah, it's funny that you had to spend a whole bunch of money to get a sound card just to get audio on your computer.
Well, just remember that. And then it wouldn't work with all the games. It didn't matter which sound card you bought.
Yeah.
It was like some games just for some reason would not work with your sound card.
Yeah. I don't miss that.
Sound Blaster.
Yeah.
I know you've played Doom, John. Where did you start?
I played Doom 2. My
Okay.
dad got Doom 2 for a PC. It must have been like probably in the late 90s. I think he got it through work. And so I played it so much I started having like nightmares about it where like the Doom creatures would actually show up in my dreams.
Oh man.
That's not good
So-
parenting, Ian.
Did you ever read Did anyone ever read the books at all?
No.
That 4-book
No.
series?
I should.
I
I didn't
did.
know there were
just for
books.
fun.
Yeah. I mean, the first 2 are obviously very based on the game, but then they kind of go in some weird direction. But
As much as
involving,
I
like-
love that game, I think it, in my memory at least, Duke Nukem kind of took it over. If you, it like was the 3D game that came along and
Yeah.
displaced it, if you know what I mean.
hmm
I thought I had photos of the Doom discs. I thought I had a photo of. Anyway,
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the cheat codes by chance?
Yeah.
I mean,
IDKFA,
I know.
IDDQD.
Yeah,
Those are the
Mhm.
two main
just
ones. Yeah.
typing them into the console,
Mhm.
getting God mode and
Yeah.
whatever.
I think was ID No Clip one of them too.
Yeah. Walk through walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Some classics. Yeah, cheat codes. You remembered all
Mhm.
those. After
And then you-
after I beat the game a few times.
And then
yeah.
that's the other thing. It's like you don't remember necessarily how you found out about the cheat codes. Someone told you at school, because it's not like you could go on the internet and be, "Oh, Doom cheat codes." And
Well, there was a
Well, I
magazine
mean-
back in the day that had like
true.
codes and stuff like that in the back. So I probably learned it from that. Or
Well,
something.
my nerdy computer friend Matt, who grew up to be a nerdy computer guy, anyway, he would always be the one because he would like be on billboards and do all that kind of garbage. So he was the one that always had that information. So like we never played Duke Nukem. We went straight to Rise of the Triad, and then
Oh yeah, that was a
and
good one. I
then
remember
and
that
then
too.
we would play that over phone lines. But we
Sweet.
would do these packs of audio clips. So we would replace the audio files in each of our games. So then when you press F1 or whatever, you could say commands to them on the other side, and they're always like stupid, like Super Ninja shit that we would come up with. So like our
Oh.
games were all this stupid,
That's epic.
Awesome.
dumb
yeah,
shit.
That's great.
Anyway,
Do you
That's
still
the
have
best
them?
kind.
Rise of the Triad. No, that computer met a fate. So, and I don't. Yeah, no. I wish, but that was a fun game, Rise of the Triad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I haven't thought about that game, but yeah, that was a game I spent many hours with.
Anyway, cool.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about.
Happy birthday,
this
Doom.
day in history. Happy birthday, Doom, man.
Thanks for making us feel old.
Yeah. Oh, I know. 30 years old. Yeah.
There's loads of people out there that have, like, I was talking to someone at work and they were like, "Yeah, I was in middle school in 2008," and I was just like, "Yeah, man, I bought my house then."
Yeah. It's wild.
They're probably thinking about the newer Doom game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 2016. Cool. Yeah.
What are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean the one that came out in 2004?
So, for the water cooler topic, I just wanted to briefly touch on this because every podcast is talking about it and has talked about it. Hey guys, Gran Turismo 6 or Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. It's real, and the game comes out in over a year.
2 years. 2 years practically. 'cause
Well, a
it's
year and
probably
a half.
releasing
It'll be a year and a half.
November 2025.
No, I think a lot of people believe that it's going to be like in March because of their financial. That's where they're going to need.
Yeah, to
the
boost the stock price. Yeah.
If they have to delay it, then it'll probably go to Christmas. But anyway.
Well, because we were listing off releases of previous Grand Theft Auto games, and they kept hitting November.
5 dropped in September.
I think that was the traditional way of doing it, and now it's like the gaming
All over
market.
the
It's
map.
not the way it used to be. Because remember, it used to be pretty dry in the summer. It was always like the run up to Christmas, and then you got a few games in January, February that didn't make the Christmas date for whatever reason.
Mhm.
They also don't release games anymore. They just release one every 10 years now. So
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, come on. They released Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch. I mean, that was just last year.
No, that
or
was
this
the
year.
That
That
doesn't
was the
count.
first one they.
Oh, that was the first
Wasn't the-
one. Yeah, they just released Red Dead Redemption
Yeah.
That
1
doesn't count.
on the Switch.
Yeah,
no one bought it.
14-year-old game.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I thought the
Funny, I
trailer
forgot it
looked
was
pretty
the first
cool.
one.
Yeah, I thought it looked great.
It
Yeah,
was
it's-
interesting.
It's,
Yeah.
got the Tom Petty song. I really like that. I thought that was cool.
That's been climbing the charts. People are discovering Tom Petty.
It's like a B-side to Free Falling that no one knows, that no one's really familiar with. But I thought it fit the trailer really well. I think the amount of people in those cutscenes are like, that's crazy. Because that's all like
Yep.
in-game engine footage. So it's like, it's just going to be gnarly that
After playing Cyberpunk, I think they can do it though, because
Oh, yeah.
Cyberpunk's got shows that the PlayStation can handle that and still look good.
And then, classic Rockstar fashion, it's going to be a console only for a while.
And then there'll be some sprawling online thing where you can buy all the books you need.
Yeah, but
you
I
get shark
imagine
bucks.
that'll be the same as as 5.
Yeah.
That won't come out for like a couple weeks after or something. They'll probably really want to focus on the art of the game. I think the story concept is cool. First female character, I think that's cool. Makes me more interested. I'm definitely more interested in this one. Plus Vice City. It's gonna be crazy.
I really liked 5, but I just didn't like the characters particularly.
I think it's kind of funny. They went back to Vice City in a way, in terms of comparing Vice City how it was in the 80s, or Florida compared to how it was in the 80s, but now with all like the meme, how Florida is essentially a meme,
Yeah,
a
Florida
meme state, and so what a great time to come out with a game based around Florida, because they have all this rich history of how what kind of a ecosystem Florida is.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think on top of that, it's like part of the way to like comment, because Rockstar always kind of commentates on society. And I think that's
they've
a
always
really
liked
good
that
way.
social commentary.
Yeah, that kind of
and-
satire and weird shit. And I think Florida is that petri dish of like humans are just,
I mean, if you had to think about what real life GTA City would be, or state, it would be Florida.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, there's only a couple. You could perhaps do California or New York. I mean, those would have their own like.
Well, right. But like that's what GTA 5 was. I mean, San Andreas is basically
exactly.
LA. So I mean,
But I think if you think of a Rockstar game and their kind of satire and drugs and crime, I think something like Miami fits that perfectly. More so, in my opinion, more so than New York and more so than LA.
100%,
Florida
100%.
is what
100%.
a Rockstar game would be.
Well, and if you think about it, I mean, wasn't 4 in Liberty City, basically?
Yeah, 4 was Liberty City. Which
So
was, would be,
they basically went back. They went back to Liberty City again, then they went back to San Andreas, and now they're doing Vice City. So like, it's not like they've gone. I'm surprised they have never gone outside of the U.S. in a very long, since.
I think they had
I
like
would
a
love a
Grand Theft
London one. That
Auto
would be-
Britain one. It was like, but it was
Well,
like
back in the-
GTA 2.
Yeah, because
or
that's where
something like that.
that's where the games are
top-down one.
from
It was-
originally.
It was in London,
Yeah.
swinging 60s, wasn't it? But
Yeah, but they've never
but I
gone
think
back.
there's a lot less satire in those older games. It was,
Right. No, I'm very excited. I think it's going to be fun. This is probably the most excited I've been for a GTA game. Plus, I loved Vice City, so I'm curious, like, all the some kind of tie-ins to the original Vice City game. So I look forward to that. Cool. I just want
I
to,
don't think I've ever played a GTA for more than an hour.
Oh wow,
So,
Wow.
So I'm just not in it. Yeah.
that's interesting.
yeah. I mean, I love
You
the
love
GTA
all the
games.
games, but like
Yeah.
GTA, that's like you're not as interested. I'm not saying that.
Dude, you can
in
even
a
walk
negative
around the
connotation.
city. You don't have to
Yeah.
kill people.
Huh.
You could just walk around.
yeah,
like
you could
this
just
all the
walking
time.
simulator.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the city though. I don't know. There's a lot of games where they just take place in cities, and I'm not too keen on it
You could just
because
play golf.
I just end up staring at the map and looking at the GPS. The whole
Okay, we
time.
know what Jared's doing next time he's not on the show.
Jared pops up the map and he just breaks into a cold sweat. He's like,
Well,
"This is
what-
too much."
What if they had a pressure washing side quest?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
That-
clean the windows of some of those skyscrapers. Yeah,
they'll probably be in there.
And
I
then
wouldn't put
the
it past
final
them.
part is. Then the final part is you have to pressure wash a Florida man.
Oh my god.
yeah.
He's-
Oh yeah, dirty.
Which is just an alligator.
For those that don't know, yeah, Power Washing Simulator's a lot of fun. Just started playing that. It's on PS Plus right now.
Very exciting. Anyway, let's move on.
It's co-op online.
Oh my god. Okay, Jared. We're not here for Power Washing Simulator.
Well, the joke would have
It could
been
be.
complete dud if there was no reference. There you go.
I suppose.
If no one power washed.
So tonight, since it's kind of a special, we're doing our favorite games played in, but not necessarily from 2023. But before we kick that off, we'll go to the Lordbeerstro. If you would like to tell us, did you decide to just do your favorite beers of 2023 or your favorite winners of 2023? I wasn't sure which one you decided on.
See, I wasn't even sure what to do. I was just gonna pick like top 3 notable ones.
Okay.
Like I was gonna start out with number 3 being the Sierra Nevada Optimum, which took down probably a higher ranked beer that I'm gonna mention, but this was just because how much of a surprise it was, because I generally, I mean, some Sierra Nevada beers are fine, but I mean this one just kind of surprised me for what it was and how good it was. And I don't know if maybe it was just because I set the bar so low that the fact that I garnered any enjoyment in the flavor that's why I liked it so much. But yeah, so number 3 is gonna be that Sierra Nevada Optimum.
Awesome.
That is a solid beer. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Many props to that.
Is that year round?
See, I thought it was a seasonal, but I was looking it up, and I don't know. It seems like you might still be able to buy it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
it used to be like really rare, and then it became definitely like a full 3 month, or maybe a 6 month beer.
Okay. So
I
it's
want to
still
say even
seasonal,
years
but-
ago, it like even came in like a 4-pack and was
Yeah.
like one of the more.
Yeah, last time I saw it, it was in a 6-pack. I was quite surprised.
We'll have to keep
yeah.
my eye out for it.
What's number 2?
Number 2, I'm gonna go with the. I mean, I just did this one a couple weeks ago, but it's gonna be those Goose Island, Bourbon County Stouts. Just
Nice.
because
Putting a
it's
stout on the list. I like that.
yeah. I mean, they're delicious. I mean, they're a beer I look forward to every year. But just to do one after the other, though, I mean, that was a hell of an experience.
I bet, yeah.
So I
It's,
picked one up from Costco this week. They only had a few left, and
Oh.
it was a limit of one per customer. So
Oh, wow.
it's on my list to try. It's just sat there in the garage, kind of looking at me. I
Oh.
thought about it tonight, but
Oh, that reminds me. I actually meant to open a beer. This would have been
is this your number one?
no.
Oh,
This is
Abyss.
actually yeah.
Oh, this is one of
last
Dave's
year's
favorites.
Abyss.
Yeah, I like a bit.
Last
Yeah,
year's
that's-
Abyss.
isn't it?
I haven't seen any Abyss this year yet, so I don't know if I'm a little too early or too late.
Where's that? No, Dave likes what's the other one you always like? The Storm. That's the one you.
Oh, Mother of All Storms.
Yeah, that was
is-
good.
Yes, I almost bought
That's
that one.
sex in
I
a
thought about it.
glass. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Got a bottle of that sitting in the fridge, but unfortunately it said 2023 on it, so it has to sit and wait.
Oh.
Oh,
But yeah, so number 1, probably the longest winner. We're gonna go with 2023 Waldo.
Oh yes, I remember I had the Waldo
Nice.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It even got its
I'll
own
need
show.
to buy some of that next year.
Well, I mean, you're probably only 3 months away.
Yeah.
It comes out right around springtime,
Okay.
so
Nice.
yeah, like March or April. So
Why is it such a
keep
good
your
beer,
eyes open.
Nick? Why is your favorite?
Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily my favorite. It was just more notable for the fact that it kind of held that streak going for so long.
right.
That
Did that
But,
even surprise you?
yeah, it kind of did actually. Like all the stuff that I threw at it, like all the other beers that I put up against it. And, still, I mean, it is a good beer, but yeah, it surprised me, and it was just kind of also interesting to like keep that streak going. It wasn't interesting on my wallet. My wallet hated me for it, but
Oh, I'm sure.
So what are you gonna take away from all this beer battle shit as you kind of take a hiatus for a while? You gonna miss it?
I'm not gonna miss like the high alcohol competitions. Those are some of the.
Seems to be the style that you like, though, is the either the triple IPAs or the kind of bourbon barrel stout kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love the specialty stuff. I mean, but
Yeah,
it should be like one of those, and then just kind of like if I'm gonna keep going, then like find something light to kind of land.
Balance it out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, because going heavy on multiple you're gonna have a bad time.
It's always good times though.
Maybe one or two. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, like the next morning.
I mean, you falling asleep in the chair is always
yep.
Yeah,
quintessential.
That's primo.
That's
Yeah.
podcast gold right there.
Yep.
Yeah, moment of the 2 years ago or now, right? Or was that this year?
I'm pretty sure
probably
that
That
been
was
a
like
few times.
last fall or something.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's been a minute. That was funny though.
All right. Well, let us thank you for your beer service, Lordbeerstro. Holy
Oh,
shit.
Aaron has showed up.
Oh.
Hello, Aaron.
Aaron.
Well,
Just in time, I believe.
Yeah, man, it's
maybe.
about
It's about to get set off. He's like, anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, as we move forward on the show, tonight we are doing our top 3 favorite games, as I mentioned earlier. And, you know, it's the end of the year. And I realized we do this kind of like games you played in 2023 as opposed to game of the year, because like a lot of the guys don't play games from 2023. They play a lot of older games. So, you know, we have to kind of change the rules a bit. So,
Yeah, for cheap bastards like me.
I think it's a great idea, honestly, just because, you know, it's like we don't have, like, it's not that we're cheap. It's just that games have gotten a little more expensive. And
there's also a
course, your
lot of
livings
them.
went up.
There's also a lot of them.
Yes, that too.
Yes.
Less stress. You don't have to play all the new stuff. You know, it's
You
Well,
can if you
and-
want to, but you don't have to, like I said. So
I may have just started a couple of games from 2023 because I got them when they were on sale.
hey, nice.
Well, I mean,
There we go.
that kind of goes with the point of like brand new games are expensive, and so sometimes it just kind of pays to wait a little bit.
exactly.
But also, some of
Yes.
you guys take a lot longer to play games than some of us.
Mhm.
So then, by the time that you
oh,
finish a game, then you get a game. Like you just bought some games, Nick, off a sale, but like you're at the end of the year, so you're not really gonna have a great, you know, in-depth idea of what those games are like until a few
Yep.
months from here. You know, so you know
Right.
it's understandable. And
Kind of.
Aaron's
Alright.
busy he's you know, and Dave, you know, Jared have kids.
I mean-
Except Jared plays constantly, so that isn't really an
Yeah.
issue for him as
Yeah,
much.
I just
Maybe a
don't
little
sleep.
bit.
It's not an excuse like it is for the rest of us.
I just
Yeah.
don't sleep. Yeah.
I'm slowly starting to find that nighttime gaming actually makes me a little more sane.
Yeah.
So
we don't
there-
neglect our kids like Jared does. Is what you're saying.
He doesn't neglect; he just makes them a part of it.
Yeah, there you go.
I swear, I feel like I hear a text message go off and it's this kid saying, "Where are you, Dad? Can you stop playing games?" You're like, "Daddy's busy. Go away."
Yeah.
Fuck it off.
We all hang out in the living room with each other.
Except Jared's in the
Child,
bucket,
get your
so that's
Corey.
different. He's like,
Yeah, I haven't
Dad, go
been
to your
playing it
room.
with
Daddy's
them
in the
around.
in the
It
garage.
helps tune them out. You know, you
Alright.
need to.
Well, I'm
Taking this
very
code.
concerned. I'll smack them when I'm reaching for something, or like if I'm playing Resident Evil around them, I'm like
Don't hit me
stabbing at
again,
the zombies
Daddy.
or whatever, and I accidentally like clock one of my kids or something. Like, I don't wanna do
Daddy's
that.
VRing again. He's not
Yeah.
drunk. He's just VRing.
Yeah, he's
you
thrashing.
could
He's
see it. You
thrashing.
could see it at school. Oh, what happened, Evelyn? My daddy was playing video games and he just hit me.
Oh, oh
So-
man, that brings me.
Yeah, so I do VR in alone time.
Tough crowd.
Oh boy.
That's
All
a
right.
fair
Well,
one.
let's stop
That's a
picking
fair
on
one.
Jared.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's start our top 3 with Jared. Jared, what is your number 3 game that
Back
you
to
enjoyed,
picking on him.
So,
loved, favorited?
I picked games that didn't come out this year for this list.
Okay.
So my first one I picked was beat recently. I think it came out last year. Is Moss Book 2 for PSVR 2.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean that's a
Sweet.
series that I love. The first one I played through it twice and still kind of dinked around in it. I never got the platinum in it because some are kind of weird and like don't get killed here or don't fall in a hole or whatever. But Moss Book 2, I had tons of fun with that. That's such a cool series. The
It looked
being
fun when I seen the
Yeah.
trailers
Yeah,
for it.
you've always
Oh,
spoken highly of
absolutely.
those
Mhm.
games. So.
yeah. Well, Ian played Moss 1, didn't you?
No, I have it.
Oh, I thought you
I
did.
have it
Oh,
as well.
it's-
I've never played
Just
it.
because he has
It's
it
so
doesn't mean he
good,
played it.
man. I
There's
know
a
I'm
lot
the
of
only one
VR
that still
games. I still
will
haven't-
put the VR.
I still
thing
haven't
on.
played the
Yeah.
VR Astrobot one.
Oh, it's so good.
I know.
You didn't like
I think I never-
Astro's Playroom, like all
Yeah,
that
I did.
Astro stuff. I love.
I like the Playroom.
Yeah.
I
Is it-
platinumed
You
it.
like to play around?
Oh, dude, Astrobot Rescue Mission's so good.
I know. I just never
It's
played it.
Amazing, yeah. But yeah, Moss Book 2. That's my number 3 on this list.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right, Dave, what you got?
So all of my games, I was like, okay, I'll look, see what I've played this year, what I've beat, and I haven't played any from 20 that was released in 2023.
That's all right. That's what this list is
But
about.
other than Diablo 4,
That's
but
surprising
that's not
the
making my
others.
list, like because I played the the open
Yeah, the
beta,
beta.
and all the rest of it. But
Mhm.
number 3 for me is Callisto Protocol. I really enjoyed that
Ooh,
game.
that's a
I went
good
through
one.
it.
Oh
I didn't-
wow. Okay.
I didn't
That's not
find it
surprising. That's a good
scary
game.
necessarily.
Mhm.
I liked the story. I liked the length of the game was good. The mechanics were pretty good. I could have done with like there's these kind of like face hugger things that shoot out with like an
yeah,
arm on them.
yeah.
And,
Fuck
you
those
know,
things.
after the first one, you're like, oh, that's cool. But after a while, you're just like, that's cheap. You know,
No,
because
it's
they're
more
always like
obnoxious
round the
cheap.
corner that you're not expecting or whatever. But I just really
Yeah.
like that game. I like the weapons, and I like that you could kind of choose a little and as to what you developed. So I thought that was a really
Yeah.
cool game, and I played it before it was free on PSN, and then it was free on PSN. So if you haven't played it and you've got PSN this year, then
I made
It's
it like
worth-
an hour.
it's
and a half
worth a
in or
look.
something. It's good, yeah.
yeah,
Cool. By the team that
And we
originally
finished
made
it?
the original
Oh.
Dead Space.
Yeah.
Within an hour. Wow.
Okay. All right. Nick, what do you have for number 3?
Well, this game is from 2023.
Holy shit.
But it's like it's the
Wow.
only game that I beat in 2023.
God of War 2.
No, because that's a
Mario Wonder.
2022
2020.
game.
That's last
Yes,
year.
it's Super Mario Wonder, Jared.
Oh, that's
has it
right.
correct.
Ah,
There you go.
yeah. You like to hear about this?
Elephant
yeah.
Mario won your heart.
I've still
Mm.
only played it once.
Aw.
My youngest daughter just asked me to play it again, so soon. We'll get back in it.
wow, I'd have thought that'd
Yeah.
be like catnip for you, Jared.
No. But go ahead, talk about it, Nick.
Mario's a
what
hit
do
or
you have to
miss.
say
Yeah.
about Mario Wonder?
I mean, it's I don't know. It's basically a typical. No, not always typical, but I mean, I've already. God, I feel like I'm repeating myself with the psychedelic stuff, and it's like two different games, where like there's an adult game, but kid game. Well, adult game in the fact that you get high and you warp your vision, but
Oh,
then
that's
you've
always
also
fun.
got the kid version with the elephant and all this
And
stuff.
magic
I don't know,
mushrooms,
it's just-
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, those go back to our time, but
Yeah.
no.
You have
it's,
my
it's
interest.
just- What's that?
Sorry. I said you have
Oh.
my interest. Keep going.
But it's just fun.
That was
There's
a good
like a
adult
lot.
humor, kid humor game.
There's just a lot of wonderful throwbacks to previous Mario games as well, and just fun how they incorporated into this new game and kind of some of the
Right.
new physics and stuff like that. I haven't had a chance to do any of the multiplayer stuff though, so I can't necessarily judge it on that. But it's a side-scrolling Mario game that I actually need to go back and play because there's still some stuff that I need. I mean, I beat the game, but there's still lots of secrets to uncover.
Oh yeah, always.
Always.
Oh yeah, and then there's Bubble Bobble Mario too. Let's not forget about that. Beat
Oh,
yourself
yeah,
and
the
Mario
bubbles.
and Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I love
cutesy
Bubble
stuff.
Bobble.
Mm-hmm.
Puke the rainbow.
How about you, Aaron?
Yeah.
What's your number 3 game you played in 2023?
For my number 3, I'm gonna add. I want to say to Nick that I respect any game maker or TV maker, like for kids stuff, that could throw any adult humor in there, and it goes whiffing right over the kid's head, and it makes the adults chuckle. It's a hard thing to do because it really is. It's hard to make adult humor not too adult. It's like, oh my god, I thank God the kid can't understand this joke. That's funny. But anyway, my number 3 is actually Journey. That game came out a while back, but man, that game is so much fun. It was so nice. I didn't realize how short it was. Like I know I played it in 2 nights, but I was taking my time on purpose with it. Just actually like look around and just see just how great that game was, how simple it was. It was a fantastic game.
The music,
And-
man. I'm glad you got to enjoy that for your first time. I mean, I'm kind of jealous of that now. I've played through it so many times.
I thought I felt like it was gonna be a little longer at some points, but then all of a sudden credits roll. I'm like, what? Already? Did not what?
Yeah, I like a good
Okay.
short experience.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic game for how short it was. Like it felt like it could have been longer, but I'm glad it didn't because then it would have kind of lost the magic it had. Like if that game just you could sit down and probably if you had more time just play it one night and be done. Which is nice. But I'm glad it wasn't as long as it was.
Jared's
And
about
short
to
as it
nut.
was.
So
Man, this is
Too
such
late.
good beer. Samuel Smith's Nut Brown Ale.
Did not like that beer when we reviewed it. Ugh.
It was okay.
It's one of my
It wasn't the
favorites.
greatest. It had a weird aftertaste.
I was just thinking that's what my office is missing, a fridge where I can go like this, reach back
Yeah.
and
Oh,
open the
yeah.
door and get one.
I miss my mini
Unfortunately,
fridge.
my
That's what
fridge
you
is-
get for 15 years with my company. I got that for
A dinged mini fridge.
I got
Yeah,
mine
it
from
should be, it
Brad
got damaged,
for
but
free
hey, it doesn't
as
need to be
well.
pretty.
I could have got one from
Yeah.
work at a picnic, but instead I got a little drone copter.
All right, John.
Anyway.
What's your number 3 game?
Number 3.
My number 3 is Disco Elysium. It's seems like one of the few games I beat this year. But it's a great modern adventure game where you play a detective who gets so drunk he wipes his memory, and so then you, as a player character, have to solve it, and you can. It's a good satire just on different political ideologies, as well as they did a great job mixing different cultures together, such as Asian and more French type of cultures together. And it's a funny game and pretty simple. So yeah, I really dug it. I'm glad I held out on buying it because it came up for free on as a PS Plus member. I was able to play it for free. So yeah, I really highly recommend that game.
Cool. Released in 2019.
Yeah, I'm interested to play that one after you've talked about it. It sounds like fun.
Oh, you would
So how-
you would think it's hilarious, Dave.
So how did the main character wipe his memory?
The
Was
same
he-
way you do.
He was on the
Oh,
podcast.
so he's drinking.
Jaeger?
Yeah, he's
I
drinking 2 Goose Islands in a row.
like
He
it.
was drinking 14% beers all night.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like you still have some sort of memory. If you at least had a shot or 2 of Jaeger in the mix, then yeah, you're gone.
Yeah, maybe someday. It says it takes about 23 hours to beat the main story if you're just kind of bolting through.
That's bolting through. Dang,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
20 hours more to be a completionist.
And they still talk
Yeah.
a lot of there's another podcast I listened to that they've been talking about that game again recently. They had a guest on and they were just like talking about that game. So like the more
I've heard
people talk
nothing but
about it,
good.
I was like, maybe someday I'll try it. Especially since there's not really any combat; it's just more kind of talking and.
It's that's why I say it's like an adventure game. It's
Right.
really like a point and click game, but it's done so well. It doesn't feel clunky or dated at all. You know, it doesn't feel like you're playing some LucasArts game from the 90s.
A lot of reading though.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
Sounds
Ian,
like it.
what's your number 3?
My number 3. Thank you, Jared. This is something I've been playing just not recent. It's been. I don't know, I've been on it for a couple months now, pretty hardcore. I've come back to it. So I'm going with Gran Turismo 7. I am.
Nice.
Not only have I been
Good choice.
playing, I think it was during the new update. I jumped back in, and I've been playing this game pretty relentlessly, and I've also been creating content with it. And I've started playing longer races because I've really come to enjoy the tactical pitting you have to kind of do, like gas and the tires,
strategy.
the strategy of it, the
Right.
whether you have like because when you're in your car driving, you can lean out the gas so you don't burn as much gas in the game. You can adjust your brake so you're not ruining the tires. But then traction or braking, you have to brake earlier. There's a lot of like stuff in the game that you're doing, not just racing. Anyway. So I've really gotten into that a lot. So there's all these. And then I didn't realize the idea of like racing the race and then watching my replay of myself instead of like just the cockpit view and streaming that, creating a replay of actually like what it would look like to see a race. I've kind of got into that and people oddly have been watching them, which I find weird. But anyway, Gran Turismo 7 is a fucking awesome game, and
I watched a couple of those vids.
really gotten back into it. And I'm really close to platinuming it. We'll see if it happens. But I have got.
Nice.
What do you mean we'll see if it happens?
Well, it's just a
Other
lot.
games?
I'll just like burn out, like because some of like there's like the
That too.
fucking drive the complete distance of the Autobahn, which is like 10,000 miles or something like that. Then there's like and then get all gold trophies in the licensing tests. So like I have to go back and
that's
do
tough.
those all over again. No, anyway, there's just a lot of. There's just a
10,000
lot of seat
miles,
time.
100 miles an hour. That's
There's just
100 hours right there.
yeah. See, there's just a lot. So I don't know.
Those license tests to go for the gold, it's a lot of like you get your start, you fuck up on the first turn, you hit start, you restart,
Right.
you
But that mileage
do it
counts.
again, and you do that so many times.
The mileage
It's,
counts, thankfully.
Yeah.
So, but it's like in the early ones I have gold, but then they start going silver, and then they become bronze, and it's like some of those towards the end are just really
That's so
fucking difficult.
stupid.
Yeah, it's Gran Turismo. It's how it is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate
No,
it's
I
it.
know,
platinum.
but it's just like you should keep your gold if you have.
Oh no,
gold,
you
if that
keep
makes-
it keeps your gold. No, it doesn't get rid
okay,
of it.
good. I thought
the
I was
road to
confused.
platinum.
Yeah, it's just whether it's anyway.
Right,
so
right.
I'm really into it right now, but maybe I think part of it has to do with F1, and now that the F1 season's over, maybe I'll be less interested in racing until F1 comes back and it's like all racy again. But we'll see.
Jared brings up
Yeah,
a
well-
good point. You should just start your own YouTube series called The Road to Platinum.
No.
Like The Road to Le Mans.
Because I would definitely
Yeah.
just
Jiminy
bail.
and Platinum Edition.
I would just bail because if I
And then
had
you
to,
just
like,
adopt like an Irish accent.
John, I
and
do
you're
enough
just
content.
like-
I don't need another show that I have to do shit. Anyway, Jared, what's your number 2?
Wait, before we start with Jared, what are your favorite cars to race, and what's your favorite track to go on, Ian?
Oh, wow. Okay. I love racing. This is odd for me, but I really love the new Porsche 911 GT3. That car's a
Nice.
fucking beast. And then I
Oh,
always
yeah,
love racing my GTRs. I've also kind of fallen in love with this Le Mans Audi
Nice.
car that's pretty badass. But I'm
Those are my
actually
favorites.
I've been racing all kinds of I GT40 I race pretty often in the American races. It's pretty beasty.
Right.
And, I race
You
all
have to
kinds of
switch
things.
often.
Yeah, I have to
depending on the
switch
race.
for like the different
Yeah.
types of races. One of the cool things that Gran Turismo, great, I'm talking about it again, but they started doing weekly
That's all right.
weeklies and daily type stuff challenges. So like it helps you earn a lot more money. So I can buy these when in the beginning when they were bitching about like you don't earn enough money. Well, now you get money constantly. So like
Well,
the whole
Please be here.
microtransaction thing, there's like no argument for it anymore. Like they just
Right.
if you're racing, you're getting money constantly. So anyway,
Right.
Cool.
all right. Jared 2.
My number 2 that didn't come out this year is A Plague Tale: Requiem.
Oh, that's the first
That
one,
was
huh?
Is that the
yeah. Well,
first one?
it's the second one.
Oh, is it the second one? Okay.
Yeah, it's the second one. Yeah,
okay.
and I love the first one. You know, it's a really dark story, and
Yeah, the first
2
one was
is
really
more dark story, very dark.
That is last year, though. It came out
Uh,
last year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pretty sure last year, but I finally played it this year, and it met all expectations, and maybe even more so. I think it was better than the first one because the combat's a little more varied, but not much. The puzzles, you know, they still have the light with the rats and all that stuff, but they seemed a little more interesting in a lot of circumstances. And there's a lot more scenes where you're running away from stuff, so that was pretty fun, just kind of navigating through. And I liked those scenes a lot from the first one, where you're running away from the rats or the mob or stuff like that. And this game was pretty relentless. It was really dark story with you and your brother. So yeah, I'd recommend it strongly.
Jared, I started playing that game shortly after it came out because I beat the first one, and I have to go back to it because I just pretty much got burned out by the first one, and then when I started playing the second one, I got past. I played it maybe 30 minutes, and I was just like,
Yeah,
I
back
don't
to
wanna
back.
do
I
this.
get that.
I don't want
Yeah,
to do this
don't do it
again.
back to back. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I could see getting tired of it. It's the perfect length. Because if it goes on longer, you just like more. Oh, damn it. But you know, a couple of years after, or 3 years after the original, and you start playing it fresh, you know, it's enjoyable. So yeah, definitely don't play them back to back.
And
Cool.
is the game still available on Xbox Game Pass, or is it also available on the PlayStation Game Pass?
It's I think it's on Game Pass. I don't recall specifically, but I can have an answer for that in a little while, I suppose, but not right now.
No. If you don't have it off the top, I remember it came
Yeah.
out on Game Pass, but I don't know if it came out on PlayStation Game Pass.
No, you have to buy it on PlayStation still. I think there was something behind. Didn't Xbox buy that studio or something?
Yeah, maybe. Because only
I
I
do
think
remember
they
it was more
did.
like
Eventually.
an exclusivity thing.
A Plague Tale, Requiem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
There you go. Game Pass. All right, Dave, what you got for number 2?
I really enjoyed Stray. I finally played that
Yeah.
this year, and
That was a goodie.
that was such a good game, and it was quite a short game. It was amazing how much they could convey without like dialogue and just general, you know, body language, and I just really enjoyed it. I like cats though, so I'm a bit soft in
Yeah.
that respect.
Hey.
But if you
Yeah, I
haven't
liked
played,
all the sentient robot people
Yeah.
and all that. That was really neat.
yeah,
how
if
they
you
did all
haven't
that.
played it, you should play it. It's a very good game. It's a moving game.
It's a
was-
It's a cat walking simulator.
It is really just a cat walking simulator, and it's like, okay, how do I get up to the? I want to go up to that tall point on the building. Now I'm going to get up there. That's pretty much
Yeah.
the game.
Environmental
Fair,
puzzles.
cats.
Yeah, it's really good. I liked Stray.
But yeah, if you haven't played it, it's a great game.
Cool. All right. There you go. That came out last year, though, right? That was last year.
I
Also.
believe so, yeah.
2022, yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Nick, what do you got? Number 2.
I've got Aaron's number 3, Journey.
Yeah,
Ooh. Well, there you go.
good. I'm
Wang
glad you
bam.
enjoyed
I
it
like
too.
it.
I
It
did
was a great
because
game.
Ian threw it out there as I think it was
There's an idea that we never did. See?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
Well,
Kind
But
of.
I
Right,
mean, I
never.
already had the game, so I was just like, what the hell? And
Yeah, why not?
jumped in and started
Yeah.
playing it, and
Didn't you play through it
Didn't really
twice?
have-
I
I did, and the second part was sad in the fact that I got to the very end, and I was playing with somebody like essentially the entire time,
Mhm.
and the game crashed.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Right at the
that's
end.
right. You mentioned that.
So that made me really sad. And then,
A fate worse than death.
Yeah.
well, Yeah.
Mhm.
But
That's always
also
sad.
there was just um reading about the game. Like I kind of read something when I was playing it through the first time that it didn't have like when I beat the game, it didn't quite have that emotional impact on me. But it was because of something I read about the end before I reached it. Kind of spoiled
Oh
it for
man,
myself. But well,
oh man,
it
taking me
kind of
the
spoiled it.
feels.
Well, it spoiled it in the wrong way because I didn't think the character actually died because the way they described it, they didn't describe any death at all. It was just like, oh, like these mythical, powerful creatures came and just revived you. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And then,
Right.
now you're flying around this greenery and everything. And, oh, okay, this is kind of nice. And then I think I was talking to Ian about it one time, and then he mentioned the main character dying, and
Yeah.
it didn't click right away. And then I looked it up, and then sure enough, it's like, oh, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. And now this game is really sad when you reach the
Yeah,
end.
it gave me the
Yeah, but
feels at the end for sure.
I like the whole concept that it's like an everlasting loop. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
start as one of those stars that came from the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
so you're already, ascending from that point to go back up the mountain. It's an interesting loop. It's a really fun, interesting game.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot more fun than my loop of work every week. Where
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a better loop than work.
All right.
and
Work loop.
then I feel like I die before I make it to the end on Friday.
Is that the first game
Yeah,
that's
that's
been
fine.
mentioned twice so far?
Think so.
Yes,
Oh
I
boy.
believe so.
There
Oh
you go.
man, I know another. It's
Why,
gonna be
Ian? Are
mentioned
you going to mention
multiple
something?
times.
No, I'm not gonna. It'll be funny if Journey is the favorite game of the year.
No, it's the right side of the screen has two of the similar
Oh,
ones, probably
right.
for the number one.
Right, I got you.
I was going to say
Uh,
Journey came out in 2012, didn't it?
That was
Originally.
a
Yeah, it's a long
very
Yeah.
time
old
ago.
game, yeah.
a long time
Holy
ago.
shit.
Yeah, that's like
Wow.
two
Decade
generations
old.
ago.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's still good today.
Yeah.
it is. It
Mm-hmm.
is.
All right, Aaron, what's your number 2?
All right, my number 2 is actually something I'm still playing, and I beat it before, but I'm deciding what the fuck, why not play through it again? Mass Effect 1. Yes, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, the only thing I have issue with is just the driving in the tank. It's just garbage. It's garbage. It's the worst driving experience I've ever had with a tank game. And I remember playing Battletanks Global Assault. That was garbage. But this just takes it a whole new level of shit I've ever seen before. But that aside, that's literally the minor issue I have. But it's still one of the perfect games. I mean, 2 is the greatest one. We all know this for a fact, but 1 is still pretty solid for what it's worth. I mean, it's the beginning, it's still good. People are still trying to figure shit out in the beginning, like what the fuck's
Saren's such a
happening.
good character.
Space racist.
Yep.
Yeah,
Racist.
there we go.
Yep. I beat that game this year as well. And
As did
yes, there's a space racist.
Yes, yes.
I would say the driving does suck, but it's not as bad as driving like the Warthog out of Halo or some shit. That's still
Oh god, yeah.
that fucking final
Yeah.
level in Halo is still by far the worst driving experience you will ever experience in a
Same
video game.
controls in a Borderlands car.
Yes,
Exactly.
Borderlands made
Why
it
do you
funny,
want to
though.
drive that shit in a final level? It's the worst fucking. Anyway, sorry, we're not talking about
that final
Anyway,
level was
anyway,
garbage.
anyway.
I
No,
agree.
Right, no, it's bad, but that's the only downside to that game. Other than that, the game is amazing. The story is great. It has great build up, and it's so much fun. I forgot how fun that game was until I started replaying again because of
Who did
the
you
little
romance?
Mass Effect. I'm going for Liara right now, so I was
Yeah.
gonna
Good
do
choice.
Kaden, but I'm like I did that in the last playthrough, and I'm playing as a girl this time, so
Yeah, baby.
let that bastard die. Kaden die.
Wait, you're gonna
Anyway,
save the
no.
space racist?
Yeah. I mean,
Caden's
no,
an asshole, but I'm gonna let the space racist die.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I let the
man.
space racist die. Anyway,
Oh, Ashley, whoever her name is.
Yeah.
I was gonna. I considered doing.
Yeah, she doesn't have a name.
considering
She's
doing
just space racist.
she doesn't have a name. Yeah.
that. Well, luckily, and after, I think she's gone after the first game, so we don't see her
No,
anymore. After
she-
Well,
that.
that's dependent
She
on who
pops
you
in,
choose.
Yeah.
True, but
Mhm.
I'm going for Liara in my playthrough this time around because I think actually died. It actually died in the first playthrough I did it, so I decided to do a little different
Alright.
this time.
Well, it's hard. It's hard for me to do that. Like make those. Well, I've only played the first
It
Mass
is-
Effect once, but it's hard to make those like
Any-
asshole choices.
Mm-hmm. Same here. Like
Yeah.
who should I let die and make you feel like such a dick about it?
Mhm.
That's the hard part about that game. But on the same token, I just have a good. All the decisions make it feel pretty good regardless. Just because like at least most people survive, but most of them, not all of them, just most. But anyway, I'm looking forward to playing through number 2 again, which I played and beat countless times, as everybody on the couch knows. And now Nick knows I've played at least 3 times, beat it on 2 separate consoles, PS3 and PS4, and
I was taking
no
score,
Xbox.
by
Sorry, Xbox and PlayStation. But anyway, I've played and beat that game enough times, and it's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Well, quadrilogies if you include Andromeda, but it's a perfect storm of a game, and I can't wait to finish the rest of it. So
Cool.
it's gonna be a long, long run.
Good choice. All right, John. What you got for number 2?
RDR2 online, which is
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption
Nice.
on 2
Okay.
online.
You have put a
I'm
lot of
surprised
time
it's
into
number
that.
2.
Yeah,
So
I
I
see you
put-
playing
Grinding
that every
away.
night.
Just grinding away.
I'm
Yes.
into it. I
Whenever
turned on my PlayStation because I needed to check. I wanted to check how. So as I said in the last episode, the longer daily streak you have in terms of if you play for 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, etc., the more gold multiplier you get. So I'm at day 18 of playing it, and that means I've done at least one daily challenge for 18 days straight. And
So you can't just log in and leave. You have to do a daily
you
challenge.
have to do one challenge.
Oh man.
So I've been doing
Well,
that, and I'm at level 50. So I
way to
got
get
that
the players
achievement,
involved.
and now I'm just there's some other multiplayer achievements I can work on.
Have you
like
met
getting
any?
5
Have you met any friends? Are you like posseing up with
No,
like just
I
randos?
just do solo only.
Just all solo.
Yeah, I'm not really into talking to random people online, and I'm very wary of like when I run into a player character, I just keep my eye on them, and I tend to shy away because now I'm trying to do the collector stuff because I found an interactive map that lets me know where all the collector stuff is at.
Those
So
maps
now,
are cool.
I just go collect stuff, and then once I get a whole collection, I sell it, and that's a huge moneymaker as well as a huge like XP boost. So
what is the
I
end
would-
game here? You're just trying to get the coolest shit.
I mean, for now, it's just like the end game is probably I gotta make more money so then I can get more horses and just kind of try to work on the more realistic achievements for.
You're gonna have a stable.
Yeah. Like I only have one horse right now, but the horses are expensive.
Have they
and
fixed the stable yet? Or is it still doing
I
that?
don't know. I haven't
Oh.
chanced it.
Oh.
It's too annoying to have to reset the game.
Sorry.
But yeah, my character looks pretty badass. Like I'm happy with my character, and
Cool.
like I just do dual skull fields now, so I'm happy with just having 2 guns. And that as much crap as that game got, and I'm not saying it wasn't deserving, it's pretty interesting to play an online game by Rockstar that Rockstar has supposedly abandoned because it's a pretty solid online game. So yeah, I'm just gonna
that game
keep.
got like critical place.
And still a lot of people play it too. You know?
So
I
you think
guess,
they
I don't
left
know.
it in a good state?
I don't know. Oh, and I also pick up another role, so I'm a trader. So now I'm a bounty hunter, collector, and trader. And
Oh
the
my
traders essentially you just hunt
Just
and
hunt.
like and throw and donate whole animals to your business partner Crips.
Well, I guess you have to get money to like activate those roles, huh? Right?
Well, it's all gold bars, but
Yeah.
that's why you do the. That's
Right.
why it's important to do the weeks consistently because that speeds up the gold process.
Got you.
That makes sense.
So play more like they want you to, so
That
you get
seems
the
like-
things
I
that
know.
you
That just
hope to
seems-
get.
They
Yeah,
they
got
trapped
it.
me.
Sounds
they
like
got
work.
me. They got.
So-
They haven't gotten. They've only got my money 3 separate times, but they haven't gotten any microtransaction money from me.
They got your time.
Nice.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so Ian,
So-
what's your number 2?
My
actually, before we
Oh,
get-
Nick has a
I had a-
question.
Oh, Nick has something.
yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 online. Do they let you go to Mexico at all? In there, or
No.
No.
Supposedly that's cut content. They were originally wanted people to go to Mexico, but they ran out of time. So it is possible to get to Mexico, but you have to glitch the game.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
That's lame.
Interesting.
Weird.
I heard a rumor because you can't obviously get into there in the single player, but I always heard that in the multiplayer that you were going to be able to. But
That may have been something they announced so long ago, but at this, like, my understanding that was their original Rockstar's original intention was to open up Mexico, but they either it's something they plan to do later, or I feel like, but it's cut content essentially now, so you're
Okay,
never
yeah.
going to be able to go to Mexico.
Darn.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I guess all them hookers can wait.
Number 2.
My number 2, to follow in Aaron's footsteps, I'm picking Mass Effect 2. I really enjoyed
Ooh.
going back to this
I
game.
thought you were going to say Journey.
No.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Game of the year.
I didn't
That's
play
cool.
Journey this year.
I
But
have.
I did play Mass Effect 2. Great game. If you want to
Yes.
hear me or Dave expound on the game in great detail, we did an episode, I don't know, like a month or two ago, about talking all about that game. But yeah, Mass Effect 2.
That was a
great,
fun episode.
Yeah,
Stands
it
up.
still holds up. Yeah.
It's a fucking great game. Masterpiece. So that's my number 2.
I believe that. Yes.
Jared.
Yeah.
My number 1 is Psychonauts 2.
Psychonauts.
Oh,
cool.
Because it's a game that came out and people talked about it a lot until they didn't, and nobody mentions it, which is unfortunate. I really hope it's has staying power. Like the first one, people talked about for a long time, and Psychonauts
I do
2
remember
is
this.
better than the first one by a
Oh,
large
really?
degree.
Oh, wow.
I think so. Yeah, I played Psychonauts 2 last year, or Psychonauts 1 last year, and then I played Psychonauts 2 this year. And I mean, Psychonauts 1 still holds up. It's a great game. It really is. But Psychonauts 2, really, the storytelling is way, way better by a large degree. And the setup of all the different levels is really well done. It's definitely a masterclass game.
Okay.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Very exciting. One of my favorite things I've ever seen is Psychonauts 1. This guy does a speed run with the team watching him do it. And
nice.
they're just like watching this kid break their game constantly to get through it. And like I don't know, it was like 10 minutes or I don't know.
That sounds really entertaining.
It's on
actually.
YouTube somewhere. It's fucking hilarious. And Tim Schafer is just like, what the fuck? It's pretty funny.
Man, that's
It's pretty funny.
nuts.
Yeah, it's. I watched another one similarly. It's not this. It was like for Control, and I think the time at that point was like, I don't know, 40 minutes to get through to Control.
God.
Wow.
No, not Control. It was Prey. Sorry, Prey. There is one for Control though, I think too. But anyway, I watched Prey, and they got through that in like 40 minutes, and it just the way they break that game is incredible. It's hilarious.
I bet.
It's so much fun to watch that kind of stuff. Anyway,
Man.
cool. Psychonauts 2, Jared. Good choice.
Yeah, I hope somebody else plays it too. It's really good.
Dave, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is the Phoenix of the year, which is Cyberpunk 2077.
Awesome.
I finally beat it today.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
it's pretty fresh. I didn't post it, but it's kind of like if Grand Theft Auto and Mass Effect had a baby.
I could see
In
that.
a lot of
I
ways,
definitely
it's
agree.
like got that open worldness, but it's also got that really good, strong like storytelling.
I agree with that.
Debating whether to go back and play it again from the start. 'Cause
Oh, really?
I feel
I
like
want to
I'm-
do more side quests. I do.
Well, not
need to
just that.
restart
I
that
feel like I
game.
only scratched the surface. I was only just
Yeah.
beginning to scratch the surface of the cyber upgrades and stuff by the time I finished it. And the ending, I found myself quite moved by the ending, which I wasn't expecting, which is kind of funny.
You could
I
just
don't
go back to
I
like an
know.
earlier save and like then play some more of the content and then not
It
have
is.
to go
It
all
is
the way
one
back.
of those. Yeah, it is one of those games where it's like, yeah, it saves every 5 minutes and keeps all your auto saves. So that is a possibility. But I just thought the story was really good. I did do some of the side quests. I didn't do a lot of them, but the gun mechanics. I found the sniper rifle that would auto, like after a second and a half, would auto like lock on to people and do headshots.
Oh man, I would love
And it
those
was
so much.
that just opened up the game for me. It was like, all right, this is my weapon. And even when,
I already love sniper rifles. You had to do that to me.
but it was, it was like it was a tier 2, and the best weapons are tier 4, and I still couldn't like get rid of this weapon because it was just great.
Can't you
I
up-
think my
well,
only
you can upgrade it. I imagine.
true,
Right?
my only real complaint in some respects is there's a couple of boss battles in the game, and it's essentially the same thing. You basically take a shotgun, blow them blast them in the face, run away until your health recovers.
Yep.
Face. The boss battles weren't like, I enjoyed them, but by the same token, I didn't. They weren't quite as imaginative as the rest of the game. But visually, the
Very
game looked
repetitive.
absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
And glitch-wise, there's still a few glitches. I got in the elevator on tree branch, somehow stuck, and it came up with me in the so
Glitches
it's
remember
are
like,
fun though. I like
I
bugs.
remember one glitch. I killed someone in the elevator, and the guy followed me all the way up the elevator. It's like
Yeah, shake,
all
shake,
the way
shake,
up the
shake,
elevator.
shake,
I'm
jitter,
like,
jitter.
guy, I killed you. Get off my elevator.
but
I
this
had I had one that's kind of funny. I was in my car just driving crazy fucking fast, and I just hit this immovable object so hard that it sent me down underground.
Oh, I've never
Like
done
it just
that.
and it just kept falling, and I was just like, well, I guess we're restarting this.
yeah.
Dave, you should do the missions where you're doing like the quest to find the sentient cars for
Oh,
whatever
I've
his
done
name
one or
was.
two of those. Those are fun.
Dude, yeah, they're all jokes regarding other games, pretty much. Like there was a Portal one even.
Yeah, I that game just
They
has
love cake.
so much going for it, and it's I also like the fact that they turned it around and took what and made it what they said it was going to be, if you know what I mean.
It just had another huge update.
You know what's funny?
Oh yeah.
As we are talking about Cyberpunk right now, on the stream, I have my PlayStation playlist of Let's Plays going on right now, and Cyberpunk is actually. So this is like the most
That's convenient.
kismet thing going on. Anyway,
I dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
How about getting back into that game?
it's a beautiful game. I wouldn't mind playing the DLC actually.
Well, it
But
did
I
just
don't-
win the best ongoing game in the
Game of the
Game
Award. Yep,
Awards.
I remember
also-
that.
God. Yeah.
I also don't feel
kinda
like
had
I
to
need
be
the
given that
DLC
one.
yet. It's like I feel like there's so much left in that world, and the ending I chose was pretty cool. I liked the ending I chose, but I could also see like that inflection point. The ending I chose that, where you could go the other way. I believe there's like 5 endings, and one of them's kind of lame, but
and the newest ending that they add with the DLC, I think, is fucking just ballsy.
yeah.
It's one of the just like what the.
That one emotionally had just pounded you, Ian.
It did. It was just like what. Yeah,
I have to say, the only problem with that game is it really doesn't like do much to explain the upgrades and how like the crafting system works. I still don't really understand how like the crafting,
Yeah.
other than I can make some more ammo if my gun's short. It's like, okay, I made a bunch of tier 4 components. What does that get me? It's like I don't quite get that aspect of the game yet. And it's also very stingy with the credits at the start as well. So you kind of
Yeah,
you
so
don't-
I just loot
you don't
everything.
play with it very much. Yeah,
And then I break everything for. Early on, you would break everything for pieces that then you could upgrade. And then when
Yep.
you start getting like higher tier, then all the lower tier weapons you just sell for money, and then the higher tier weapons you don't need.
Yep.
Because it became a point where I don't want any weapon unless it's iconic. So like whether I upgrade it to iconic or I pick it or buy it up iconic, any other weapon, even if it's legendary status or whatever, I would just sell that shit or break it down for parts because at a certain point I have so much fucking pieces and stuff. It becomes when you've played it, because I played it forever. I have a lot of but yeah, it's one of those things you just have to play it a lot and just grind out some shit.
I got that impression, and to be quite honest, as much as I say maybe that's a little bit of a drawback, I also think it's the reason that I would perhaps consider playing it again, or at least going back to it after I beat it, because I feel like there is a lot of depth there that I only kind of skimmed the surface of. So,
because my weapon of choice was, so I have an iconic, legendary, maxed out. It's like this single hand cannon thing, and it's like does the most damage of any weapon in the game. And basically, I would use my cyber kinesis, whatever they call it, to hack people, and so like make them go crazy. And then I just jump in there and then just pop them with this fucking gun that just like destroys them and sets them on fire and shit. And it's like just screaming and shit going on. It's just like this anyway. So if I couldn't get it through there stealthily, then I was just fucking chaos. Would rain fire on these fuckers.
I'm the total opposite. I'm a Pokefion. Fuck stealth. I just like go in there, guns blazing, and start killing.
Yeah,
fools.
I was terrible at stealth.
Well, if you look at
games.
one of the things you'll learn is like because you have these other skills that they level up depending on what. So like if you just go around shooting with a shotgun, it just levels up this one thing and you get certain things. Or if you just dash, it'll level up your ninja skill. There's like all these just like base attributes that if you're only doing one thing, then you're not leveling up these other things that like give you like really cool benefits. Anyway,
for those who haven't played it, you should.
It's great.
It's
great.
definitely the time to jump in now. I think they did like their final big update, supposedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's go time.
Thank God I bought it on Black Friday.
Yeah. Sweet.
It can't have been cheaper than the $10 I paid for my PlayStation 4 copy like 2 years ago or whatever, when everyone was like really down on it.
Oh yeah,
that was great. So Nick, what's your number one?
Boy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I respect this one.
Yeah. So,
but I kind of want to do. I want to do like a combo of both the 2018 and Ragnarok. Just
the Quentin Tarantino cut. The non-linear.
Yeah. You go back and forth a lot.
And well, I mean, I didn't as much as like now that I kind of know the full story. I feel like it would have been more fun to go back and forth a lot more than I did. But I think part of it was I kind of stuck with Ragnarok a little longer just because I may or may not have felt a little pressure to try and get it done. But but no, I mean, I still think it was kind of. I mean, I know probably most everybody did 2018 and then moved on to Ragnarok, but it was just for first time experience. It was just kind of interesting just seeing the story in the way that I played it, like going back and forth and like seeing some characters like starting out with Ragnarok and you've already got these characters like Mimir and Freya, and you're already involved in them. Then you go back to 2018, and then you kind of introduced to them, and I don't know, but yeah, like Ian said, it's kind of a.
I get that. It's like watching
Tarantino.
a sequel to a movie and then watching the original one, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, and it just works. I get that.
Or it's just like a movie that. You're not starting at the actual beginning, but you may either be starting at the climax or not too far from it, and then you kind of go back and then you kind of work your way up. But I mean, I don't know. It was just an interesting way to approach like well, 2 games, but just an overall story. And
What?
I don't know.
Well,
I
it's like-
You
really
should do
enjoyed
that
it.
with Mass Effect next.
Oh my!
Oh God,
you couldn't do
no.
that
No, that's not possible.
because your save wouldn't transfer
knows?
over. You'd be kind of fucked up
No.
there.
Yeah,
Son of
you
a
do
bitch.
kind of have to play that one in sequential order.
Yeah. Cool. All right. God of War, 2018 and Ragnarok.
Mhm.
Good way to get 4 games on your list, Nick. Break the
Yeah.
rules.
There we go. There we go.
So, Aaron, go
Aaron.
ahead and talk about God of War Ragnarok, all right? Number 1, right?
Oh God, it's funny because it was a toss up between either putting Ragnarok as 2, then Mass Effect as 1. But if I played 2, Mass Effect 2, that would probably be the number 1 actually right now. Ragnarok would be number 2. But yeah, you guys got me. I mean, obviously you saw it coming from like 10 miles a fucking way, like a hurricane off the shoreline.
Or a hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
I would have said too soon, but that happened 5 years ago, so I kind of saw that one also
Hurricane.
coming. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, no, only this situation is a good one. It's like what Nick was saying. It's a fantastic game. And I mean, I've already played 2018, but I know we all know that's a great game. Honestly, the ending to the Ragnarok just gave me the feels. I mean, it probably would have hit a little differently if I didn't have it hit way more differently now that I have a kid. But it's I feel like it would have hit me differently regardless if I had a kid or not. But it just hits more so. But anyway, they did.
Well, don't
something-
don't finish the Eyes of Odin side quest.
Oh man. Well,
Well, actually, it
Oh,
has nothing to
bird
do
one?
with the side quest, but when you hear like the backstory about it, maybe just ignore that.
yeah. I'm kind of in the idea. I kind of have a slight knowledge of actual. It's funny because Norse mythology is actually one of my favorite forms of mythology, except for Greek, which is a very fucked up one. But I'm not going to go into a weird history lesson. My thing is, it's just they did something in the game sequel that they rarely ever do, and actually make the sequel just as good as the original. Oh, original meaning original reboot. You know,
I disagree, but you know, that's
Do you
just
like
me.
during the Game Awards that Kratos made fun of Call of Duty?
Yeah, his speech was longer than the game itself. Yeah, that was actually. I was like, haha. I haven't played. I never played the new Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
I'm never going to. I
No.
played Call of Duty once. That was enough. But no, I really enjoyed that game. I mean, I felt like, yeah, 2018 was a great game. They did something that was new to the God of War franchise and actually made him likable because people were kind of pissed off about him in a sense because he was kind of a chauvinist and kind of just a rageaholic asshole. But then they went back to the drawing board. Okay, how can we make him more likable? Make him make him a hard edged dad with a heart of gold. Done. But still make him like kind of Kratos because he's still kind of a angry person, but it's not as like in your face. But then Ragnarok came along and kind of kept that going. But then they made him more of a dad, which was like relatable.
Which would have been
the-
fine if they hadn't made you play Atreus. And
Yeah,
it's
that
just
part
like,
kind of was
ugh.
like,
I was just like, oh.
And there's
That was
there's DLC available for it now, isn't there? Didn't that just come out
It's-
during the Game Awards?
Tuesday. It's coming out
Yeah.
Tuesday
Yeah, Valhalla.
for free.
Yeah, for
By the
free.
way, that's-
So I
that's-
want
Wow.
to reinstall it and try that out.
I don't
coming
even
back
want
to
to
it.
play it at that price.
Really?
Oh,
Ouch,
man.
Yeah.
man.
I'm done with that
It's like
game.
a dagger in my heart.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, I just love that game. I can't gush about it anymore. Like it's already been talked about a little bit. So there we go. One
Cool.
God of War Ragnarok.
At least
That's a
6 or more people have talked about it on the show now,
There we go.
specifically beating it. Yeah.
Yes,
And
we all
being
beat.
like number 1 on
Took
We
a
all beat
year,
off
but-
Kratos
end of
6
game
times.
things. Yeah. So we've talked about God of War a lot on
Yeah.
this show.
Look out for Aaron
Really
and
have.
Nick's
Yeah.
mobile minute.
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Well, we kind
All
of
right.
did in a minute.
Ragnarok.
All right. All right.
John, number
John,
one.
what's your number one?
My number one is Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah, you did
Jesus
talk
Christ
about
be
that a lot.
praised.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
Uh,
be
man.
praised.
That sounds like a dirty joke, but I'm
It
missing
kind
something.
of does the more I think about it. I haven't
But
thought
this
about it
game
much,
was
but it definitely sounds
I
dirty.
played this game
Sounds like an
twice.
Ian deleted challenge from a couple weeks ago.
Ian deleted.
Ian doesn't get challenges. Only one person gets challenges on this show.
Well, no. I mean, you set out a challenge for us, is what I meant.
I did?
Like Ian wanted to set it out, and he was like, I'm not going to do it.
I'm sorry.
So,
I don't
anyways,
follow.
I played this. I started playing this game once before, and it was too, I guess, immersive for me. So I stopped playing it just because I didn't like the game mechanics. And then I came back to it because it was, at the time, it was free to play on the PlayStation with the PlayStation membership, and I got into it. So, and the game is not a game I would usually play because it's not so much it's first person, but it is very immersive. Like the combat is kind of clunky. You have to level up your skills such as reading because your character doesn't know how to
Oh,
read at the beginning of the game. So
what?
you have to find a tutor essentially who can teach you how to read, and then that becomes a skill that you can improve on. And but overall the story is great. It is like a double A game or indie studio, but they did a great job with this game. That is one of the first games that that makes you really feel like you're a shit player in terms of because you play Henry, who's the son of a blacksmith, and
Hank for short.
his yeah Hank, and essentially his parents get killed and then he's on a quest for vengeance. So you start from a character who has zero combat experience to the end of the game, you become, a knight in shining armor essentially. And the
Sounds like
game
the
does
first
such a great
thing I've
job
ever
of
watched.
translating that where you just feel like I like you feel clunky, the combat is kind of weird. I'm just getting my ass beat. My armor sucks. I'm just like this like pauper. Uh but the game does a great job as you improving your skills. You become more competent. You start learning more about combos. You become way better at combat. So the game does a great job of giving you that incentive. Like, okay, my skills are starting to build. I feel more like a knight. And then there's even like I joined the subreddit for the group, and it's kind of
Oh,
funny
you're
to
in
see
deep.
people. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny, the memes like the Jesus Christ be praised. That's something Henry says a lot, and so that has become a meme amongst the subreddit
it sounds
group.
like
And
a
then they
drinking
even
game
will,
too.
yeah, and they'll even post pics of their Henry build in terms of how he looks as a full-fledged knight, and that's kind of fun to
Have
look
you
at.
posted yours yet?
No, I haven't played the game in a while. But I went out and bought the game because it was gonna be they were taking it off as a PlayStation Plus game, so I went and bought the game for like $5, and then I bought the DLC for it. And I've been thinking of going back to it for a while, just because uh, now that I have more experience with the game, I would like to start over and just play it again. But yeah, it's a great game. I mean, I don't know if it would be everyone's cup of tea because it is kind of hard to get into because Henry is kind of just a simpleton when you first start. So the entry level can be kind of steep to get into, but I highly recommend this game. I mean, I was kind of surprised how much I would like it because I'm typically not into these games, but I really enjoyed Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Would you say it was the Jesus angle that really got you into the game?
I was gonna
Well,
say,
it was the angle that you at one point you get to uh you have to become friends with some priest, and so you pretty much get drunk with the priest, and then you
Oh,
go
is that
back
how
and
it happens?
yeah, and then you essentially have like a gangbang with the
it was not
priest back
very
in his
Oh
holy.
day.
man,
Huh.
Oh,
male on
Man.
male gangbangery.
Well, it wasn't male on male, but you're having sex with another woman
Christ be
in the
praised.
same house he's in. Yeah, Christ be praised.
Baby Jesus.
Ahem.
Making
Amen.
multiple baby Jesuses.
Oh boy.
Well, cool. Very exciting.
Interesting game.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
All right. Yeah.
It's on
all
Game
right,
Pass,
Ian.
isn't
Deliver
it?
the babies.
Isn't it?
Let's hear what the
How is
Milkman's number
Kingdom
one is.
Come spelt for this game?
Your dad needs to speak, John.
Oh, do I? Do I need to speak? I guess I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
speak.
What's your number
I
one?
think it's your turn.
One of my favorite experiences of this year was beating and platinuming. What's it fucking called now? Shit, I can't remember.
Baldur's
Oh
Gate.
shit!
It was so good.
Best
Oh, no.
game ever.
Tales of Iron. It was a PS Plus game.
Oh yeah.
It's a little 2D
That's right.
mouse game. Fucking,
play that.
I hate these. Generally, not into these type of games, and I don't know what it was about this one, but it just sucked me in, and I just couldn't stop playing it. And then at a certain point, I'm like, oh, I think I
Would
can
you say
platinum
it
this
sucked
game.
you off?
It did not suck me off because it was cute and not-
But also gritty.
And
it's
it's
very
a video
gritty.
game.
Story.
It's a really gritty game. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
really
it
dig
is.
it. I don't know. I'm not usually. This is like a Jared game too, but for some reason, I just really enjoyed it. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I even back when it was still called Twitter, earlier in the year, I went on and
Oh,
just
that's still around.
praised this company, and they even responded to me, and I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's just a super cool game. I just really, really liked it, and
Available for the Switch as well, isn't it?
probably the art style is just super cool, and it's one of those little indie studios that if they make another game, I'm totally gonna check it out because it's just a really flawless game in my opinion. So, Tales of Iron. Super cool.
Pretty sure I have that on my PS5 because of you.
You should have it. It was a free
I
game.
should finish it. I made it pretty far into it.
So I do think there's something really interesting about this episode, which is I was looking at games released in 2023, and I was looking at ones that maybe someone had played. Obviously, the first one was Hogwarts. Then Diablo 4.
I think we all
Spider-Man.
played. I mean, I put 20 hours into that fucking beta.
Yeah, I think we all played it on the free weekend, and then we were all like, "Nah, we're not buying that."
Not full
Uh,
price.
Oh, I bought it
Spider-Man.
on Black Friday, and I just started playing it today, actually.
See, there you go.
So, Spider-Man 2,
Matt played
Resident Evil 4,
Played the
Alan
Spider-Man
Wake 2, Final Fantasy 16, and I'm quite
Jared
surprised
played that.
actually. Baldur's
Mhm.
Gate 3.
it. Yeah, I
I
played
was
that.
surprised that
That one
didn't
cleaned
come
up
on
house
your
on the
list,
award
Ian.
show.
So, one thing I didn't tell you guys, but Jared and I will be doing a more extensive actual Game of the Year episode since we played a lot of 2020.
Yeah, you actually
games.
played some of the.
So he and I are
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
he and I are
so
going.
there will be an episode.
There will
with
be an
that,
episode
yeah.
about that stuff because
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of games that we played this year. We just thought we would play with you guys in this, and rather than talk about those games twice.
No, but I do think it's interesting
Right.
that Baldur's Gate 3 would that have
You didn't
got
say
in
anything
your
about
top
that.
3 this year, Ian? Or
Oh, Baldur's Gate is my game of the year.
Well, yeah. That's
Yeah, so
obvious,
we'll talk about that
Of course.
on that next episode that Jared and I
Yeah.
do. But
Don't spoil the episode.
yeah, I don't want
Jared.
to spoil it. But
well, yeah.
but we were just
Yeah.
Jared and I were kind of just trying to discuss how we were going
I
to
didn't
handle
spoil
this. And
he already did.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
because I mean,
Yeah,
I
what are you
looked
talking
at the
about?
2023 game list, and we're in December now, and I looked at them, and I was like, there actually isn't that much that would have interested me to begin with,
Right.
and that it's a small field, and then to narrow it down to 3.
oh, I got a lot of
Yeah.
games. So,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
we'll talk about you guys can hear that if you want. I just figured we'd separate these two episodes and then we'd play. We'd just pick some of our favorite games that we played this year, like you guys did. So it'd be more.
yeah.
We wouldn't repeat content. Anywho,
No, I think on that list, Spider-Man 2 and Baldur's Gate are the two that appeal to me.
Yeah,
I just
I agree.
haven't got around to playing them yet. So
Yeah.
Cool.
2024 games of the year.
2024 games of the year.
Well, let's hope something
Brought
comes
to
out
you a
worthwhile.
year after.
Well, how do you? Well, we don't need to do couch co-optionals. We're already at an hour and a half in, so we'll.
Oh, we do need the trivia though, don't we?
We'll do trivia, but I just want to, again.
No Aaron's Mobile Minute.
This week, nothing worth mentioning anyway.
So
another match 3 game.
another match. Candy Crush.
Actually, no. It was. I'm trying to think what game it was, but it was just.
Sudoku Legends.
No, it
doesn't
was
even know it.
Shovel Knight.
Oh,
It was Shovel Knight.
Oh,
Oh,
the
I'm
Netflix
interested
thing.
in that.
there
So
you go.
yeah, next
Cool.
time.
Next time. All right.
Cool.
I couldn't do it.
He
So
couldn't get it. Oh, he gave up on it, Jared.
Oh, okay.
I gave up.
All
There's one
right.
for next week, though.
Give us some trivia, Jared.
Well, I'm gonna name some bosses, and I'm gonna see if you guys know which boss was the final boss in Doom.
Oh,
The Baron of Hell, the Spider Demon, the Cyber Demon, or the Icon of Sin.
Icon of Sin.
Cyber Demon, wasn't it?
I thought it was the
It was a giant spider.
spider.
Demon.
This is the original one,
The
right?
spider. The
Oh, Icon of Sin's Doom 2. It is the spider demon. It is
I already said I
the
never played more than the show.
the spider.
It was
I
the
can't remember the
Spider
name.
Demon, which I did some research, and the final boss in Doom 2016 is also the Spider Mastermind, which is another name it has.
Oh, a nod to the original game.
Yes.
Yeah, Spider Mastermind.
But
It's
like
the
the
woman who runs UAC.
yeah, she merges with it,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
The
So
Argent
yeah,
Energy or
that,
whatever. Yeah.
Is it sexy?
yeah, in Doom 2016.
Oh,
No.
No, it is not a sexy thing, but
No.
yeah. So yeah, the cyber
basic.
Missed
the Spider
opportunity.
Demon.
Yeah, they did it wrong.
I'm
Yeah.
good on that. No, the Icon of Sin is number 2's demon. If I'm right. The big
Yeah,
guy
that's the
here.
one. If you like jump in the back and see the face that you're shooting, it's John Carmack's head.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ID no
I
clip.
remember that.
All right.
yeah, no clip. Yep.
Who
Well,
got that
you
one?
could actually go
He-
back there. You didn't have to do the codes to go back
really?
there. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
you could
Oh,
just
speaking
run,
of, the
jump
Icon
in.
of Sin is also the final boss of Doom Eternal.
Eternal. Yep. I remember that.
God, just retreading games. Games are just retreading. Just
Yeah.
can't come up with something
This,
new.
the storytelling is a
Oh.
little bit better in the more recent
What
ones.
about
So
the
we're-
snail
pretty
demon?
If we're gonna wrap this episode up, it's basically our games of the year for 2023 are games that came out before 2023.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
We,
okay.
we expected as much. I mean, again, Ian and I will have episode with games that came
Actual
out in
games of
2023.
Yep.
So look forward to that.
Yeah, this is why this is the Fody, not the Goaty.
Yeah,
Favorite.
the Fody.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But before we go,
This one.
Nick, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Yep.
It's gonna suck
Oh.
not having a 6-pack for a while.
You're welcome
What?
back anytime.
Yeah, let us know when you're on
Yeah,
vacation.
I
You can
mean-
join us on a Sunday night.
Yeah,
Wait, what's going on? He's on
he's
hiatus.
dying.
Nick's got a new job. He has to get up
Yeah.
at like
2:00 in the morning.
arsehole clock on Monday
Right.
morning.
On
Yeah.
Mondays.
So-
That's right. He went.
Schedule
That's
change.
right. Oh
So-
yeah, back to Columbia.
Yeah, this isn't a change that. I mean, I'm not leaving because I want to.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a goodbye. It's a see you later.
See you later.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
and whenever you
I
can
mean, who
make
knows?
it, whenever you can make it, hop in.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the weekend will produce some little specials or whatever.
Or if you have a game that you played that you really want to talk about, you can just let us know and we can record an episode with you.
Yeah.
Like,
Lordbeerstro,
or
Stacy
Ian
G,
and I
that'd be good.
Get that
jump
car
in, so-
running.
Get that
Reno,
car-
baby. Reno, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, that's right. I'll be able to make that.
You're gonna make that the whole weekend?
Well, there was enough time in advance to plan it, so yeah. I just gotta make sure it's good with my work. So yeah,
All right. Cool. Well, there's
Nice.
I'm excited.
Whoop.
one. Yeah. All right. Well, this is the Couch Co-op Show. I want to thank you all for listening. Remind you to leave feedback at thecouchcoopshow@gmail.com or find us on all our socials. I don't know. Some people do that. No, I don't know. At Couch Co-op shows. All one word, no hyphen. I want to thank Jared, Dave, Nick, Aaron, and John for joining me here on the couch. For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian, reminding you to please
Be excellent to each other.
Check y'all later.
Couch Co-op is full of douchebags. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.